I started working around 15, 16.
Wow.
But like by the time I signed the movies and all of that, literally I was in college, just completed my 12th and I had signed and
That's
started
amazing.
with it. There are times when I miss the fearlessness and that only like the teens and the, you know, like the early life can give you. For me, when I got into the industry, it was a great paycheck. Maybe we've not touched our faces so much.
So much,
maybe.
and there hasn't been...
There is no scandal there. They don't really care. And I'm like, if they don't care, why the hell should I give them more of me?
Yeah.
It's scary how much somebody whom you don't know out there knows you.
Yeah.
It is only when I went through the illness, I was like, I need to get back on screen. When I went through cancer, I discovered a side to me which I didn't think I had. And I'm sure if there is life, I will keep discovering myself. I love that word.
I love hope.
I think the world runs on it.
Yeah.
I just feel that you can have as many highs and lows.
Yeah.
The highs are not beautiful if you're not sharing it with them.
Yeah.
And the lows are terrible when you're alone.
When you're
so
alone.
either ways, I don't think it's fun if you don't have someone loving to share it with.
Shah Rukh Khan,
Energy, my God.
Salman Khan,
Lightning energy.
Yeah.
Salman, all heart.
Akshay Kumar.
Oh my God, action. I've done some mad action with him. Even when we did dancing songs, we were doing action and I was scared. I would be like, are you going to throw me around or what are you going to do? Yeah. I remember as a teenager or even younger, like, I mean, as a young child, asking my mother, who am I and why am I here and what is this life? And she would just be like, you know, and my mother was the 3 daughters working constantly, running the house. And she's like, you know, I really don't have the time for this right now. And till you have life, we are not done.
Not done yet.
Some careers take off, some pause, and come back even stronger. Today on Not Done Yet, we're talking to someone who defined an era of Bollywood, took a life-changing pause, and returned with a completely new perspective. Because sometimes stepping away isn't the end, it's just the beginning of something better. My guest today was one of the most loved faces of the 90s Bollywood era. From iconic films to unforgettable songs, she was everywhere, and then life took an unexpected turn. But what I love most is how she's come back, not just as an actor, but as a creator, a voice, and someone exploring completely new spaces. Sonali, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, it's always so nice to chat with you because you have this endless positive sunshine vibe.
Oh my God.
And I don't think anything has been able to take that away from you, you know?
No, there are days when it's
I'm
not
sure.
so sunshiny, but you know, that was such a lovely intro. Thank you.
No, and it's so great. And you know, when I was planning this show, Not Done Yet, your name was like one of the top ones in my list because I remember we had spoken on Girl Tribe.
Yeah.
And some of the things that you said really blew my mind. And I have quoted you so many times.
Really?
On some of them. And I'll tell you what they are. But first, I want to take you back in time.
Okay.
Let's go back to the beginning for a bit.
You know, but I love the way you said that sometimes pause and when you come back, you come back stronger. I don't know if I've come back stronger or not or whatever.
You know, the thing is, you always have had this kind of elegance and ease about you and never felt like you were in a rush anyway. But it's so cool to see you sort of reinvent.
I'm sure my family will not agree with it. They think I'm hyper all the time.
You're doing a very good job of looking very calm otherwise, because I would never have thought you're hyper, but that's hilarious. When's your birthday?
1st of Jan.
That makes you a Capri. Oh, now I know exactly what you're like. My best friend is a Capricorn and I call her Simran, okay? Because she'll be mad at someone.
Yeah.
Tell me if you do this too. She'll call me and she's like, this happened. I'm not mad. It's fine. And then she'll have blocked, deleted their number, dead to the world. So I'm like, she simmers.
And I keep saying that, you know, I'm not mad, but. Yeah.
You're dead to me. That's so funny. Okay, so take me back to the beginning for a second. You know, did you always imagine this life for yourself?
Not
Especially
at all.
that time?
No, not at all. I mean, it just happened to me, this life. I mean, I was just looking at making, I've said it many times before. For me, when I got into the industry, it was a great paycheck.
Yeah.
And I needed that paycheck at that time. That was the need. And I just took it in that sense. So anything that was a good paycheck was something that I was doing. I was really not looking at what are the roles, what is the story. I'm like, okay, next month's bills up. What is the next thing coming? What is the next thing coming? And that's all I did. And I felt that I don't think I kind of lived the moment because at that point of time, I did feel it's a blur because I was just rushing through it. It was all just
How old were you?
So I started working around 15, 16.
Wow.
But like by the time I signed the movies and all of that, literally I was in college, just completed my 12th and I had signed and
That's
started
amazing.
with it.
You know,
But I completed my graduation.
and you did that alongside.
Yeah.
So if that 15, 17-year-old Sonali Bendre walked into your life today and saw you, what would she think?
She wouldn't believe it. She would really, this was alien world, and she's like, and she was a crazy science fiction fan.
Really?
And so she would be like, ooh, this one has come from some other planet, I'm sure. That me would have definitely thought that.
Yeah.
And, but when I look back and I look at that, as there are times when I miss the fearlessness, and that only like the teens and like the early life can give you. There's a certain amount of fearlessness, there's a certain amount of thing that I can conquer anything.
Yeah.
And that feeling as you grow, and especially I think when you turn a parent, you start getting fearful.
Yeah.
Which I really would like that fearlessness from her.
I also think it's so fascinating because, that era of Bollywood had a very different aura to it. It was a bit mysterious because everything wasn't on social media.
Thank God.
I'm sure. I love the way you said that.
Yeah, oh my God.
But, you also seem to stay away from the drama. There was no like major drama that surrounded you or cloud of any of it. Or...
Oh, but they tried, but it was like, see, I think drama feeds on drama.
Yeah.
And
So
if you don't kind of, let them feed on it, then they lose interest.
Yeah.
So it's about today it's the clickbait, that time it was the headline.
Yeah.
So what was the headline was the thing. If you're not giving them headline, then you're a boring person. So yeah.
And what do you look back at now and find the most surprising about 90s Bollywood when you were in that era that nobody told you and you're like, wow, I didn't expect that?
I think we just worked so much round the clock in that time. Now, when I look back, I think it was a different kind of training altogether. Anything that you do now, sometimes it feels, oh, but that's not so bad.
I've done worse. I've done harder.
Because you've been on sets, you've been shooting for 5 to 6 films at the same time. So one shift is in Mumbai, the next shift is in Hyderabad, and then you're flying back for the shift again, and then flying back for the... So you just slept only when you were traveling. And that kind of, it was crazy hours, and you got the dialogues on the set sometimes, and you just kind of did it. Yeah. Definitely, if you're talking about living in the moment and all of that, that definitely was not happening. But, one was just at it, and that kind of gave you a different kind of resilience, I think.
And did you, then, like you said, you weren't able to like really be present for it, but when a movie would come out, did that feel like, when did you realize, okay, I have made it? I'm a rock star.
I never felt that. I don't feel that even today.
That's crazy.
I mean, I think there's so much more to be done, and which I have not done.
Not done yet.
And I think the first thing for that is because a lot of times you get into a profession because, and you say that, oh, I want to do it. I got into it without saying I want to do it. So for me, the realization that this is what I want to do came so much later. Like it came to me when I nearly lost my life, and I said, what is the one thing that and then you realize that, oh my God, I've really enjoyed this career. But till then, I didn't know how much I had enjoyed it. So
wow, that's very powerful.
Yeah.
Like I said, I always remember, and I quote you on, you told me the story, I don't know if you remember this, how one day your son asked what the word means.
Okay.
And you told me this
What did I do?
story, and you said that, you looked at your husband and you both looked at each other and said, is he too young?
Yeah.
But you're like, now that he's asked, let's tell this story. And I remember so distinctly how you described it. You're like, first you explained love.
Yeah.
And how, making love, from two people who are in love with each other, that's such a beautiful thing. And then there's something that's invading someone's privacy in a horrible way, which is like rape.
Yeah.
And then explaining, and I was just so blown away by having sort of...
Because I think that I remember this and I think Goldie did the heavy lifting in this. He was the parent who was explaining. I'm like, you do this, because you are the guys here, kind of his own. But also it was very important for me as a woman to let my son know that, you couldn't tell consent at that time, but the moment love and when you make love, it's beautiful. And the moment you use that as a bad word, it just tells you that something that is so beautiful can be so ugly. So when he asks me the ugly aspect, I need to explain that it can be beautiful.
Too,
It is the most basic living thing. Any living thing will want to have babies, or
and we're wired for that, right?
We're wired for that, and it's the most natural thing, and you should not be ashamed of it, or you should not like it. So you must understand how beautiful it is and how basic it is, and then how that can be so bad. And and as a man, when you grow up, and he was just a boy, but it needs to start. The conversation needs to start from there. That you can make it the worst possible thing for somebody else, and it's the most violent act ever, and violent and violating act ever.
Yeah, I remember that's what you said.
Yeah.
How old is he now?
He's 20.
Wow, that's crazy. And how has he shifted your perspective of anything? Like, you have given him so many perspectives. As you've watched him grow up?
No,
what
I
have you learned
think
from him?
one thing about this generation is that they're very sorted.
Yeah.
I suppose they're exposed to so much that they really know so much more than I did at that age, you know. So they're very sorted, and when I look at that, sometimes I feel that, oh my God, you're missing out on the innocence of it.
Yeah.
So there is innocence, but not the way we were at that time. And so I learn a lot from that, and it's very interesting to see how they navigate this whole social media. And I learn from him because I get so worked up and all of that. And he's like, but it's on internet, doesn't mean it's true. I said, oh, it's that simple. He said, yeah, it's on the net, forget it. And I'm like, okay, it can be that simple.
Yeah, that's incredible. It's just, I feel like you're in yourself this treasure trove of probably amazing memories and things that you've experienced. If you were to sort of look back and say, what has been the highlight of your life so far?
I think it's the family.
Yeah.
Both the one I was born in and the one that I, married into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what stands out to you about that in the family?
I just feel that you can have as many highs and lows.
Yeah.
The highs are not beautiful if you're not sharing it with them. And the lows are terrible when you're alone. Either ways, I don't think it's fun if you don't have someone loving to share it with. And that perspective is needed. Otherwise, it's just another thing happening.
There's a movie called Shall We Dance? And Susan Sarandon has this great dialogue in it about how everybody wants a witness, that there's 8 billion people on the planet. So what does one life really mean? But in a marriage, you're going to be there for the good, the bad, the ugly, the mundane. Your life will not go unnoticed, because I will notice it. Your life will not go unwitnessed.
Oh, how beautiful.
Because I'll be a witness, and that is just state of me. It always gives me goosebumps. And
that's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's just
but that's so human.
It's so human.
Yeah.
And now this show is really about the new chapters in Reinvention, but it would be remiss of me not to do a little fun Bollywood throwback before we do that, since you have literally worked with everyone, and I think everyone would love a little fun, memory. So in your career, you've worked with all the Khans, you've worked with everyone. Who is the most spontaneous on set?
Most spontaneous on set. Okay, Saif was very spontaneous. Yeah, very, especially when we did this film called Love Ke Liye Kuch Bhi Karega, which was a mad film. And it had the comic timing and all of that. And we were like literally improvising and doing things on the set. So for me, because of the role that we did, I found him to be very spontaneous in that role.
Nice. And who was the most well prepared, like the super nerd when it came to knowing lines and being?
They all have different degrees of preparedness. Some pretend that they're not prepared at all, and then they are, and some make no bones about it that they're preparing. So the spectrum is from Amir to Salman, all of them, they all prepare in some way. Or
who would pretend that they're not prepared but would be prepared?
You know who.
See if you can guess that answer. And who was the most surprising co-star? And what did you find surprising about them?
For me, I think the co-stars, I would come to more today because when I did my series, and I really enjoyed the work that I did with Jaideep Alawat and Shriya. And Jaideep was just so amazing. I mean, I knew he was amazing, but to work with him, there's certain magnetism and, I always get amazed when I look at his work. I find him so talented.
I love that. And you've been part of like just endless iconic songs and moments. And, that like everybody, I think every wedding.
I was very lucky with my songs. I got some really good songs.
I still at every wedding duplicate that song. Constantly doing it. But when you look back, which project was the closest to your heart?
I think that project is yet to come.
Oh, wow.
Because I really think that, but definitely there was, at the beginning, there was Zakham at one point. Again, beautiful music. Though my first one was Naraz with Bhatt Saab, I started from there, and it had a beautiful song called Sambhala Hai Maine. And it just, from there, I just got lucky with songs, and more than your humma kind of dancing songs, I had some really amazing romantic
songs.
And that really was beautiful. Major Saab had such beautiful music. I mean, it was shot well, lovely music. I loved songs that were more like stories. So one of my favorite songs is a rain song, and it's from a film called Dehek. And it's called Savan Barse Tarse Dil. And the way it has been shot, that it's raining and these two lovers trying to get to meet each other. I thought that was one of my favorite songs.
I love that you have this incredible catalog of these beautiful songs and movies. Is there a movie that you feel deserved more recognition than it got?
I feel all the movies.
Fair.
But I would say... So other thing about, I must tell you that I never watched my own movies.
Really?
That was, I think, my way of moving on from it and not holding on to it. So for me, Sarfarosh, when it came in, was never the cult film that it is today. It was like, oh, it's a documentary, and I was the comic relief. I was called that also, you know. So it was like, the film was so lovely, and I said, I was like, I will get some sort of a recognition. No way. They were like, but why? You were the comic relief, somebody else gets the awards, etc., etc. I said, whatever. And then Sarfarosh just grew and grew into what it was. So I finally saw Sarfarosh full when we celebrated 25 years of Sarfarosh.
Oh my gosh.
So the point that I'm coming to is that eventually, as one grows older, at that time, I felt Sarfarosh was not getting the recognition that it needed. I mean, but as you go over a period of time, it's become the thing it is, and it's got what it deserves. So everything gets what it needs to. And in the same way, there are sometimes some careers that are only all hits, and you're giving these, you're a superstar and stuff like that. And there are some where you keep growing, and suddenly one day you put out a post where you say that I may not be making it back, and the kind of love that you get from the entire country, and you're like, oh my God, if this is not superstardom, what is? This kind of love, do I deserve it? So you never know. You get what is due to you at some point or the other.
Oh, cool. How did it feel watching the film after so long?
It was lovely. Oh,
cool.
I could also switch off from it and watch it.
Right, exactly.
Then,
that pressure's
nice.
off. And what's the film that you almost didn't do, and then you're so glad that you did?
I doubt if they're ready. Whatever I got, I grabbed and I did it.
I love that.
So if you ask me what were the ones that you missed, maybe that would be the thing.
So what are the ones that you
Whatever came to me, I didn't let anything go.
I love that. That's the right spirit. Okay, first thing that comes to mind when I say these names, okay? Shah Rukh Khan.
Oh, energy, my God.
Salman Khan.
Lightning energy. Salman, all heart.
All heart. Akshay Kumar.
Oh my God, action. I've done some mad action with him. Even when we did dancing songs, we were doing action, and I was scared. I would be like, are you going to throw me around, or what are you going to do?
Ajay Devgan.
I did my most number of films with Ajay, actually.
Wow.
So absolutely lovely working with, enjoyed it completely.
Govinda.
Fun, scared of dancing. I'm not a trained dancer. So Govinda, I used to be petrified.
I can imagine,
shooting
but
with
you
him.
always did such a good job.
He's so amazing, and he moves so well. I'm not. I don't know how I'm pulled ahead. I'm in shock when people say, I can't dance.
I love that. Nobody would believe that. Okay, Juhi Chawla.
Fun.
Kajol.
I love her. So Kajal and me, I must say, my first movie with Ajay was Dil Jale. And on our outdoor of Dil Jale was Kajal. And we just hit it off since then.
She has I love her big personality.
Yes, because both of us were readers. We liked books. And, we were opposite personalities. She was this live wire giving it back. And I was much more proper. And she's like, why do you have to be so proper? I said, because the way you're talking, I mean, the way I'm brought up, my mother would have whacked me for talking to people like that. So we just brought up differently, and we just hit it off.
I love that. Madhuri Dixit.
Oh my God. Goddess.
No, I think everyone has that reaction. Ravina Tandon.
Fun.
Karishma Kapoor.
Our kids are friends now.
Really?
Can you imagine?
That's
it's so
cool.
cute.
That's amazing. And one co-star you'd love to work with. Again.
All of them.
All of them.
I never had a problem with any of my co-stars. Also, I think for me, the boundary between my personal life and my professional life was, I worked really hard at keeping it.
Yeah.
And when I say I, that also means my parents, because when I walked home, I had to make my bed, I had to clean after me. There was no star. You could be a film star outside.
Outside.
Here, these are the house rules, and you
rules.
lived by them.
Wow.
So it was very grounding.
Yeah. And did you grow up with siblings?
Yes,
in the
I have
house?
two sisters.
So
Yeah.
you were the
I'm the middle one.
The middle one.
Yeah.
Always the one who's always in trouble or not?
Yes.
So no, there's something I make everyone do on this show before we talk about what's to come. And I'd love for you to look into your camera and send a message back in time, since you're a sci-fi girly. If you could send yourself or talk to yourself from 20, 30 years ago.
I just said what was it at the beginning of it? I said what I would like to tell myself. What was that? And I forgot that already. Just look at me, how much I blabber that.
But that's good. But you can just fresh, if you could talk to Sonali, that 17-year-old, what would you tell her? How life has been?
I think I would tell the 17, 18-year-old me was to have more patience, not rush through things, to enjoy the moment. And I would tell her that hold on to the innocence. Once lost, it never comes back.
And how would you describe everything that's happened since then to her?
Great. It's amazing. So don't worry too much.
I love that. You know, it's pretty incredible because you've been through a lot and you've talked about your journey with cancer extensively. And I think it gives a lot of women so much hope to know, especially because it can be so debilitating. And also with, you lose your hair and you lose your confidence. So what really saw you through it? Because it couldn't have been easy.
Yeah. No, it was not. In fact, it goes on still. I mean, I'm definitely, cancer free at this point. But the treatment makes you, like the word you used is so correct. It's so debilitating. It's literally like today when I finished my workout and, I managed to do weights that were more than, it's nowhere close to what I could have done. But still, these small victories are something that you cherish and you're like, oh my God, yeah, we can do it. Also I'm at an age where it's not so easy to get back. When you in 20s and 30s, you bounce back much faster.
Yeah, of course.
So definitely that is also there. I mean, there are some things physically that are never going to come back.
Yeah.
But you know what? Hey, that's always the case. I always say that whatever it is, I wear my scars and my stripes with pride.
Yeah.
Because that's a life lived.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't give them up.
I remember there's a picture you posted of yourself on a trip to London, I think, and you had shaved your head at that point.
In New York.
And you were in New York and you were sitting in the sun with a smile on your face. And that image has stayed with me because it was such an image of hope and, resilience.
Well, I tried wigs and they were just so itchy and irritating. And I said, you know what? I'm already going through so much with the pain and the aches and that terrible medication and all of that. I said, I don't need to add to it. I mean, just let it be.
Be comfortable.
And it was actually when my hair, it's actually so much easier to have a shower,
Yeah. You don't have to do hair day.
It's so quick and the getting ready part becomes half.
I love
Suddenly you don't have to bother about it. So at one point I was like, actually, I don't mind. Just, it's so much more simpler, the life.
I love that. This is what they call glimmer, when you always find a glimmer of hope or positivity, like we can see the water glimmering in the sun. But what is something that you really learned about yourself in that process? Because I guess it's a real journey of self-discovery when you go through something that's really, heavy on your body and mind.
Yeah.
So what did you learn about yourself?
I learned a few. I mean, I'm trying to apply that and remind myself that don't forget the lessons you learned from it. And so I did learn the fact that you don't have to keep striving for perfection.
Right.
And actually, if you look at it, I've always liked that little crooked tooth more than the even teeth. I think it just makes that smile so much more beautiful. And I've always liked, so I just said that, you've always liked it, you've known it.
Yeah.
We all know it. It's just that you've ignored it. And now I just sit with that everything doesn't need to be perfect. So be it, and it's not just about the appearance, it's about whatever it is that you're doing, that every time your cushion, if it is not in the place it's supposed to be, constantly doing it. In doing that, I'm missing out on a moment that is happening somewhere else. It's fine. It's a lived place, So stuff like that, just letting go of the need for perfection. I still struggle with it, but I'm much better than I used to be.
That's a full Cape retreat, by the way.
Yeah,
The
it
need for
is. It is. I
perfection.
agree with you. It's very hard.
Yeah. But, I think it's incredible that you've made what I wouldn't even say is a comeback. It's just a reinvention, and you've done so many things. When you were going through what you were going through, did you always know in the back of your mind, I'm going to go back on screen eventually?
If you would have asked me before my cancer
Yeah.
journey, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm raising
I'm
a
done.
son. I don't know if
Yeah.
maybe I'll do something else. It doesn't,
Yeah.
I was not like, I started a book club when I
Yeah,
got it.
yeah.
I wrote a book and I did do a series and
Yeah.
all of that, but I was still, it is only when I went through the illness, I was like, I need to get back on screen because,
Wow.
I really enjoy that part of it. And it has been such a huge part of my life. The love I'm getting today is because of this journey that I have had. And that love, I felt like an imposter when I was getting
Yeah.
that love. Because when you got that love for the things that you've done, but you've never really given all of yourself to that job.
Interesting.
And I just felt that I need to do this again just so that I could give it all.
Wow. That's amazing.
And I really hope that in this time I will, and maybe it will not make any difference to anybody else watching, but I know. From inside that I had not given it my all. And I do want to give it my all because
that's
of this.
incredible.
This job has given me everything.
Yeah.
Be it the family that I have now, the life, the fame, the money, everything.
Yeah.
So I just want to be able to give it all in that moment when I do it.
That's incredible.
I don't know, it sounds crazy.
No,
probably.
but it makes so much sense, and I think that just resonates so well. And especially when I ask you, like, what do you think about when I say you're not done yet?
Yeah.
That's literally what it means, because you're not done doing it to the fullest.
I never really did it properly in the first place. So I need to do it properly.
I love that. So now that we're talking about everything that's to come, tell us what you're working on, what you've been doing, what's been exciting, and where do you feel that those are the projects that, okay, now I've done it the way I given
Oh my
it what I
God,
needed
I
to do.
don't know. Malini, can I tell you what my last year was about?
Please.
I started my year with the launch of a book, which was called The Book of Books. It was in collaboration with my book club,
Yeah.
which, by the way, last week turned 9. It's 9 years. It was one of the first digital book clubs.
Incredible.
And it's been 9 years that we have a very solid community and we do that. So it's been 9 years of Sonali's book club. I launched a book that was, in collaboration with them called The Book of Books. After which I shot for a show, which hopefully should be out this year on Amazon. And after that, I launched a podcast.
Podcast
As
with
in
the
a
PAW.
podcast,
I love that.
And I do that with my baby, my little girl, Icy. She's a golden retriever.
So cute.
And so we co-host the show, and we had experts coming in and having a conversation. And whoever comes on the show, they come in with their pets.
That's so cute.
And then we are talking on certain topics, and they are doing what they are doing. And it's so much fun. And then, so I did the first season of it. And so it is niche. Everybody is not a pet lover. It's a niche thing, but the community, the pet-loving community loved it.
Loves it.
We had some amazing experts on it. So we were like, oh my God, this is doing so well. So I finished that first season, and then I started a reality show called Pati Patni Aur Panga, which was super hit. I finished that, and I did my second season of the podcast.
Wow.
And then I was burnt out.
Understandably. My gosh. And how did it feel? This year sounds so packed.
So this year we launched the second season, and we launched our merch also, as you can see.
I love that. And I do believe that you are going to be giving some out.
I have something for you. Can I have that little bag?
Oh my God, I'm so excited. That's so cute.
You?
Thank you.
I've got this for you.
So sweet.
I hope
my
the
God,
size
love
fits.
it. I'm sure it will. Pause for a moment. Oh my God, that is adorable.
I thought it was apt for her. Do you all agree?
I think it is, because I do need to pause for a moment.
I think, Malini, you're such a force of nature. You have so much energy that I thought that I should give you a t-shirt which says...
It is so adorable. I absolutely love it. And I love the color too. And you know what? I have a beagle. So this is very Milo coded. That's so sweet. Thank you. And I do believe you have something to give our viewers
Yes,
as well.
I do. I hope you like this.
I love it. I love that it's called the Happy Podcast.
Yes. You know what? I really love the name, the Happy Podcast, because I do feel that those paws, those pets bring the kind of happiness in our lives that nothing else really brings. It's unconditional love. It's just feeling. It's just that cuddle. And I don't know, how is it? Be it dogs, be it cats.
Yeah.
Because, on my podcast, I've had so many cat lovers that I actually want a cat now. And the way they heal you, literally,
It's
it was just so
amazing.
amazing. Yes.
So many times I'll just be lying in bed, or if I have like cramps or something, and my furry-faced friend will just lie next to me.
Yeah.
And they're just filled with
They
soul.
they it's like, my retriever, when I came back from my illness,
Yeah.
she started sleeping on my legs, and my legs would ache like crazy because I had the fascia, anything. There was the whole body was one full
Yeah,
ache, and
yeah.
especially the legs at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep. I would never be able to sleep because, my joints and
pain,
everything was
yeah.
so painful. And she would lie down on my legs and I would pass out. And you know what? Sleep is the best healer.
It is.
And if she can get me to sleep, she was my best healer.
I love that. And retrievers are actually known to be good therapy dogs as well.
I don't know about that where she's concerned because she's the baby of the family and she's like, I want this and that. But she was great therapy for me.
That's so sweet.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what are we giving away today?
So I'm giving away a little hamper from Sonali's book club
sweet.
because it's our 9 years. You have a little drinking steel cup. You have a little Sonali's book club bag. And you have my book, the book of books in it.
Will you please sign it?
The book or...
Yeah, please, the book. And how did you come up with the idea of the podcast?
Because I just felt I had, I spoke to my doctor, the vet, and, I would say that, listen, this is the myth on online. There are 5,000 myths going. And I said, but you know what, doc, you should be online and you should correct it. And he's saying, who's going to listen to me? He said, you should be doing this. Maybe people might actually tune in and listen. I said, yeah, why not? So that was that's all it took. And I said, you know what? I mean, between Goldie and me, we have a production house
Why
also.
not?
I said, while they're all doing many other things, I said, come on, help me out with this. And we just did it.
I love that. And Goldie's been your partner in crime through everything, thick and thin.
I think when I say that I'm not done yet, more than me, he's convinced about it. And a lot of times when I feel that, okay, this is it. I mean, what more can I do? And he's like, no, you can do more. I mean, I really feel that Goldie has more belief in me than I have in myself.
Cute.
Yeah, it's lovely to have a partner who gives you that kind of
makes
confidence and pushes you like that. He really sees me.
Yeah.
And it really makes a huge difference.
Yeah. I'm going to make you do a little fun psychoanalysis game.
Okay.
Now, right? And it's romance coded. So
okay.
It will once I tell you what it means, you'll think it's fun. Okay. So first you have to picture a cube. Okay? C-U-B-E.
Cube.
Yeah.
Cube.
A cube.
Okay.
Think about what color it is, how big it is, and what texture it is. Yeah. So something will pop up in your mind. Now imagine somewhere in relation to the cube, there's a ladder. And is the ladder touching the cube in any way? What is it made of? And finally, imagine a horse enters this picture. So temporary suspension of disbelief. A horse.
Okay.
What does the horse look like? How do you feel about it? What is it doing?
I mean, a horse looks like a horse.
It could be, but you'll describe it. Like, what color is it? And like, what does it look like? And now imagine a storm comes. What, if anything, happens to the cube, ladder, and horse? Describe your cube.
So my cube is a translucent, like a golden light lit from within.
Yeah.
And it's a cube, but it has these little circles in it.
Okay.
And the ladder is touching it because you're getting into the cube because it's actually an alien spaceship.
Of course it is. I love that.
And my horse is beautiful, chocolate brown with lovely black hair and this fabulous tail and this lovely muscles, young horse.
I love it.
And the horse is there. I don't know how to get the horse into the cube.
When the storm comes, what happens, if anything?
When the storm comes, the cube moves.
So,
the ladder can fall off. And the horse just looks stunning anyway.
I love
the breeze on the horse.
This is such a cinematic description. I feel like I wish you could just do an animation.
Okay, what does this mean?
So,
oh my God, I don't know what this means now.
This is what's fascinating. And this is like something I've done with thousands of people and no two people say the same thing. You must try this at home with Goldie.
Okay, am I giving away too much of myself? What is it? Can we edit?
The cube is your perception of yourself and also how you think people see you. So
Oh.
you described a translucent cube lit from the inside with golden light, which is so on brand for how
Oh,
you come
really?
across. Yes. True story. The ladder is your relationship with your friends. So
Okay.
sometimes they're leaning, sometimes the cube is leaning on balanced on the ladder.
Yeah.
In your case, it was going in,
Yeah, like
like
that's the
close,
way
they're
into
in.
the cube.
And the horse is your significant other and how you perceive them.
Oh my God.
And flying colors there. And the storm is how you deal with any kind of conflict in your relationship.
So what did I do?
So you wobbled a bit and the horse was just standing there looking gorgeous.
Yeah, gorgeous.
But I would love for you to share something about yourself that I always ask people. You know, we always think that there's something that is core to us. And sometimes the outside world knows that about us. Like if somebody's very talented or feels that my thing is singing or dancing or empathy, you know, everyone has that one word bio that they perceive of themselves.
About yourself.
Self, yeah. So what is one thing that you feel is your core? What is Sonali really made of that maybe the world knows or doesn't know?
Oh gosh, I really don't think world knows me.
Yeah, you don't think
Totally.
so?
No, I don't think so.
What do you think is the core? Who are you really?
I mean, I think if anybody, maybe there are times when I feel that my mother
Yeah.
would know the core.
Yeah.
And I do feel sometimes that my partner understands that core a bit. But other than that, I really don't think, I think maybe one friend gets
Yeah.
it, but not more than that.
How would you describe it? What do you feel is the core?
I think the problem is because I myself don't know what that core is. Yeah, maybe that's the reason.
But I'm getting a sense of it. There's an alien spaceship, lit up gold lighting from inside. I think she's
A ladder that goes
in.
Yeah.
And this beautiful
And yet the
muscular
horse is
brown
not
horse.
going in
And
to
we-
that.
That's
What does that
interesting.
even mean?
What
I
could
want to
that-
know.
So we need to get the psychologists in on
Yeah,
this game to
yeah.
understand.
And just let me know. Maybe I should ask Goldie. This is what I described. What do you think
First,
this
you
is?
should ask him. I'll send you a message with what the questions are.
Yeah.
And then you ask him and then you describe yours and then you will look at what both people
Right.
said.
Yeah.
Okay, so now when you've made, I guess, which is a reimagining of yourself, you've done all these shows and the podcast and the books, and there's so much.
I don't know if I have reimagined myself. I
Yeah.
just feel that there's a book club.
Yeah.
There is me doing the thing, which is when I'm acting, and there is me, which is a brand.
Yeah.
And I'll start something like do a podcast, which is again my passion.
Yeah.
And then there's the mother, the daughter. I think these are all various
They're all
parts of
parts.
me.
I think
There are different facets of my personality.
yeah.
But I don't know if, I feel that I'm not so sure about what I am,
Yeah.
quite frankly,
Yeah.
in that sense. I just feel I'm a sum total of all these things.
All these things.
And I genuinely feel that there is something and some side to me,
Yeah.
which even I haven't
Discovered
discovered
yet.
yet. And I feel I will discover it.
Yeah.
Like when I went through cancer, I discovered a side to me, which I didn't think I had. And I'm sure if there is life, I will keep discovering myself.
I love that. I think the way that I perceive it is also because the show is really about, a lot of times in our generation of millennials, we're, in our 40s, 50s now. And when I was 20, when you told me or asked me what I imagined being like at 40 or 50, I would have been like, oh, I'm going to be so old. I'll be so done.
Yeah.
But I don't feel anywhere near
No,
that.
not at all.
And I think that's kind of what people resonate with.
But
now.
I feel very young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look very young too.
No, I don't, but I
Yeah.
feel very young.
Yeah, but that's also the light inside because the soul or the spirit inside is very different. And I think that's one of the things that is so much more relatable. I mean, there's all these memes you see now about how well millennials have aged, right?
Yeah, because maybe we've not touched our faces so much.
So
maybe.
much, and there hasn't been that much going. I also think they're well preserved with tequila from the inside because we drank more than this generation does. But what do you feel is new about you? I think the reason I asked that is because we knew so little, when we watched you back in the 90s. And
Yeah.
it was a more allure, and there was probably all these sides of you always.
Yeah, but I was people were not really interested
Yeah.
because that didn't sell your headlines.
Yeah.
That oh, she likes reading a book is a very boring headline. Nobody wants to know about it. And that's human nature.
Yes.
I'm not saying, oh my God, they did it. I'm not at all saying that.
Yeah.
All of us want to hear there is some sort of a voyeurism. There is that scandal that will always make
Headlines. Yeah, of course.
and that's fair enough.
Yeah.
So nobody's really interested in knowing you.
Yeah.
And if they are not interested, actually I used to always play a game with myself. If you see, when I did these interviews and these people would come and they used to come on the set and sit and wait, and in between shots is when you did the interview and stuff like that. And I remember that every time, after a couple of years down the line also, when they would come, they say, so, how did you start? And that line is, I'm like, since 4 years, 5 years, I've been answering this question. And every time, what's your favorite color? And at one point, I would tell them a different color. And
Every
it
time.
never made a difference. It never made a difference.
Like we have to go
My
back and
answers
find
were
all,
changed.
what are the different colors?
Yeah, at that time, just now, whatever I felt like, I would say that. And no, it didn't bother them because and I realized that they don't really care.
Yeah.
And they need to fill something and they're just doing it. There is no scandal there. They don't really care. And I'm like, if they don't care, why the hell should I give them more of me?
Yeah, exactly.
And I already felt that as an actor, exactly, I mean, this is my facial structure and this is my physical structure.
Yeah.
So you already know me much more intimately without me knowing you than anybody else. You know exactly what I look like when I'm happy, when I'm sad. I mean, I can be a different character, but there is a certain physicality to it. And which anyway was like, it's scary how much somebody whom you don't know out there knows you.
Yeah.
And so I was like, already this is too much. People know me too much anyway. I don't need them to know me more. So I never did really want them to know me more.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I think that, like you said, I think it's exciting to know that there's so much yet that you're going to discover about yourself because you're so not done yet at all. I would love for you to sort of look into the future now.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see yourself? What do you see yourself doing 5, 10, 15 years from now?
I don't know what I will be doing, but I can tell you what I hope I'm doing.
Yeah.
So hope, I love that word.
I love hope.
I think the world runs on it.
Yeah.
And what would we do if we didn't have that? I mean, life would not be worth living then.
You know, I heard an amazing definition of hope where they said, hope is a luxury of the privileged sometimes, that, have you tell people to have hope. But if you think of hope as help one person every day, it changes the core of hope. Isn't that great?
Lovely.
I love that.
I don't think it's a privileged thing.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if you're leading like a life which is full of toil and there looks like nothing, and you have that child and that mother who's probably doing a day job and whatever, working really hard. The hope is that the child will have a better life. If that hope was not there, why would she do what she's doing? And so I don't agree with that part of it. It's not a luxury at all. Hope is absolutely, I feel hope is more necessary than your food and water, because you can have food and water, but if you didn't have hope, what was the life?
I love that. I'm going to start changing my definition of saying hope is more currency of change.
Yeah, it is. And it's living, the need. Otherwise, what are we doing? I mean, why do we have this life?
Yeah.
What is the thing? So I do hope that I find the purpose. What is my real purpose? I mean, we all think this is the purpose, that is the purpose, but what is the real purpose? I just hope that I find my purpose.
I think that's amazing. I think you will, and we're excited to go on this
I remember as a teenager or even younger, like, I mean, as a young child, asking my mother, who am I and why am I here and what is this life? And she would just be like, and my mother was 3 daughters working constantly, running the house, and she's like, I really don't have the time for this right now. But the fact remains that those questions still remain.
Yeah, they do.
So
amazing. And finally, I would love for you to tell everyone and the camera there why you are not done yet.
Oh, I'm definitely not done yet, because I think nobody is done. Till you have life, you're not done. You need to keep doing something, find the purpose, find the gratitude, and all that hope. Again, like as I say, hope. And none of us are done. Till you have life, we are not done.
I love that. Thank you so much, Sonali. It's always incredible
My pleasure.
and always so seamless and effortless. And I always go back feeling energized, like I've been sitting next to a charger or something. So
I love it. That's so sweet.
So
thank
true.
you so much.
Thank you
I
for
mean,
my
it was so
gift.
much fun.
It's always
and I
so
really
much
want to know
fun.
what the horse means.
I know. I can't wait to. You have to tell me what he says
Yeah.
about his horse.
I'm super excited about that, and I hope you enjoy
I will.
the
This
T-shirt.
is so sweet.
Yeah.
I'm going to be wearing this, cuddling
Please,
my
when you
beagle
wear
tonight.
it, give us a shout
I
out.
will, and I'm going to. I'll feature Milo, the Regal. He's a Beagle. He's a Beagle Rottweiler.
You know,
mix.
I want to, if we can fiddle it in somewhere. The thing about this is that we tied up with Soul Store for it. And it's also because Soul Store runs beautiful shelters for animals.
Amazing.
And I thought that was the reason why we did this together.
I love
and
that.
of course, their quality is lovely.
It is
also,
lovely.
but
I
yeah.
love Soul Store. That's so great. And
Yeah.
make sure you get yourself one of these and help an animal in need while you cuddle yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is pause and then begin again. Catch me with Sonali Bendre on Not Done Yet, the Malini Agarwal Show, a TOI original.
Not done yet.